Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. We hope you guys are doing well.
Hi, you guys.
So we see this is out of Strange Sounds. Apocalyptic thunderstorms drop golf-size hail across the Brazos River Valley in Texas. And not just there. I mean, we had reports of tornado up in Oklahoma. As you can see, there was hail in many places, severe storms all over the south central part of the U.S. It was an intense day and night.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Crazy to say the least, as we just watched a truck go by and pick up branches that fell down at this park, and he had a full bed, and he probably is going to go back and do it again with just stuff that came on down last night. And it did feel like it was hailing where we were. Look at those clouds. Look at them. That is intense. Isn't that kind of ominous?
Looks more like a cloaked spaceship.
It really does when you get down to it. It certainly does. But yeah, as you see here, 160 190 miles of monster hail, damaging wind, and a short tornado warned time. This is just what we're heading into now, and it's basically going to be par for the course, guys, in the spring and then the fall.
Yeah, it really is. This is something. It's just going to keep increasing and increasing.
But if I'm remembering right, I do remember, didn't we have, wasn't it January we had some tornadoes outbreak? I mean, everything is just changing. As you see this Texas supercell, I mean, that is impressive cloud formation.
That's kind of beautiful.
It's beautiful, scary at the same time, as we see some hail. And that's some Texas hail. And we jump over here. And this is over in Alabama. Tennis ball size hail. Ruined a friend's car. Never seen anything like it. Well, yeah, this is where we're at. In these times, when you have the extremes hitting us like they are, and everything is extreme, you're going to get exactly this, bigger and bigger hail.
Yeah, you are. I mean, that's really sad. That's got to hurt financially, too.
Yeah. Well, we had such intense storms here, and it seemed like there was at least 2 or 3 lightning strikes, within 100 feet of us is what it felt. And then for a while, it did seem like hail was coming down around here as well. So, we were just busy putting our intentions out to send a protective bubble over the area. And here you see this massive landslide. And again, this is every continent that we're seeing this crazy weather.
Yeah, it is. Every continent, and it doesn't seem to get a rest either. It just keeps happening.
No, it's every single day. Every single day. So this gigantic landslide destroys a kilometer of road in Peru. And as it says, look at the pictures. They are insane. Yeah, they are insane. I mean, that road's just crumbled. There's videos for you to look at. Massive, massive landslide. As we had shared before, like when I was living in the Appalachians, it seemed like more people were prone to living right on the slopes of the mountains, as opposed to like when we were out in Colorado and New Mexico. The mountains are there all around you, but you're not really, we weren't anyway, and in our area, there wasn't as much built up on the slopes, so you didn't really worry about it as much. But a good friend of mine over in Waynesville, hi Leah, she just had, a portion of a slope right by her house just come down.
I know, that poor thing. Sorry, Leah.
But this is part of what we're getting into as the ground gets so saturated with constant rains. And here we're talking about the big volcanic emission in St. Vincent, and you see they're waking up to extremely heavy ashfall and strong sulfur smell.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to wake up to that.
No, and again, this could be very toxic. That's one of the problems with the volcanic emissions like that. So extremely heavy ashfall and sulfur smell are spreading throughout the nation on April 10th and have already reached the capital, Kingstown. National Emergency Management Organization reported Ashfall will be a pervasive hazard throughout St. Vincent and is expected to reach the neighboring islands such as Barbados, which, is quite a ways to the east. Absolutely beautiful places. Volcanic ash is not necessarily deadly, but can lead to respiratory problems and obviously also impact vehicles and plane engines as well. So the evacuations, as we have said, have been ongoing. Impressive.
Wow, the one thing that really stuck out to me is that planes having issues.
Most definitely. And, I looked at this and said, ooh, wow, what do we got? We got 3 that are at 6 over in this little triangle here. This one is a 6.1 up in the Philippines at 311 kilometers depth. And then we have a 6.0 over here in Indonesia. And over by Papua New Guinea, we have a 6.0. So those are 3 big ones in 24 hours right there. And one of them was deadly. So the one in Indonesia killed at least 7 people in the second disaster to strike the nation in a week.
Yeah, that's really sad.
As we've said, I can't think of a place that is, kind of less safe in these times than Indonesia, because everything and anything can and does happen there. It really, really does. As you see, collapsed roof. Of course, it's in the Ring of Fire, and they've had tsunamis, and they had volcanoes, and everything that we've seen. They pretty much get it all there besides deadly snowstorms. Mm-hmm. Bright fireball lights up the sky over Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan, and it's just such a beautiful color of like bluish white, as you could see right here. It was so intense it lit it up briefly as if the night was day.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. That doesn't feel like just a fireball. It feels more like an opening of a portal.
Well, I mean, every time we look at the ones that are like this and then this color too, it's always the same thing. It's always like, they're going through the sky, and then all of a sudden it gets real bright, and then it's gone. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I could see that this might be like a portal.
Most definitely, yeah.
Yeah, they all look exactly alike if you watch them when they're like that. So, interesting, comings and goings. Astronomers detect a bright blue bridge of stars, and it's about to blow. It's an entirely new region of the Milky Way.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, they're coming out with more and more and more stuff.
Well, when you read this too, this article does get into the fact that there's evidence in certain parts of the Milky Way that we've had actual collisions. The entire galaxy has collided with other galaxies. There are some that think that our Milky Way was conjoined with Andromeda and broke off. And then I've seen scientists say that we're going to eventually merge with Andromeda, saying kind of just the opposite thing. And then there's some that say that our galaxy is distorted, and that's part of the whole problem. It's because we have been through some sort of major cataclysm in our galaxy, that at that large of a scale, and that's why we have everything going on. But the other part in here that hit me was where they talk about our section of the galaxy, and where we are, where Earth is. And, of course, that's in the Orion Zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Orion Zone, of course.
Yes, and the Orion Group comes to mind from the Ra channeling. Mm-hmm. And we know about the Orion Group pretty well.
Yes, indeed we do.
Study finds over 5,000 tons of extraterrestrial dust falls to Earth each year. We were talking a few videos back about panspermia and just how life really is abundant out there, and the entire multiverse is simply created for life to go and explore itself.
Yeah, it really is. It is about exploration.
It's about exploration and experience. Mm-hmm. And there are some lines of thought in certain philosophies that the material universe is somehow corrupt, distorted, even evil, and something to be avoided and get the hell out of, right? I don't think that's the way it was originally intended. I feel that we have been kind of hijacked by certain intelligences, and that there's this kind of a negative control grid that's been put into place. But I don't think just having a 3D experience was necessarily inherently bad, dark, evil, what have you.
Oh, no, not at all. I think we all came here to learn some lessons, experience some things, and it was kind of hijacked.
I totally agree. Totally agree. Think about it. If the true nature of us, right, is just pure consciousness in a non-physical form like what we're in right now, these vehicles, well, it could be kind of pleasurable to, have a little bit denser experience and experience, the beauty and all the different things we can experience with our senses, the taste, the smells, the touch, all the little things on up. If we are really just pure consciousness, it doesn't have to be an evil thing, a fallen thing. I think those are all distorted concepts.
I do too. I think to exist can be a beautiful thing, but the problem seems to lie where we exist under someone else's authority.
Yes, and there again, this is part of the mindset that many people have, even people of very, very good intention and even of relatively high vibration, could still have the mindset that somehow, either we are fallen or this reality is fallen and inherently evil just because we're in the control of an evil system, so to speak. And when we say evil, it's all relative. To the controllers, it's wonderful, but yet to those being controlled, it's not. But that's not the original intention, as we've said. And even if there are certain entities, whether we call them Anunnaki or what have you, or if you want to name a specific one and, say, hey, Enki brought this about because he made this version of these bodies. It's only these bodies. This is a vehicle. It's not us. Nobody created us. We're part of the original consciousness of Source. So that, I think, is a major distortion. Always thinking of the creator, the creator, the creator. Well, there is a source of all things. And that source has created these different emanations. When we go into the Kabbalah and Hermeticism, we start talking about emanations. Emanations coming from, we could say limitless light, Ein Sof, or just consciousness itself. Emanations coming off of consciousness. As we've said, if there is a source of everything, it would make sense that it's omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, and that could only be if it's existent inside every single one of its creations. And when we realize that, and realize, I'm a piece of Source, I'm a part of Source, we see, again, the microcosm and the macrocosm, as above, so below. You realize that divinity is within you. It's been within you the whole time. There's no reason to go looking out there because it's in here.
Yeah, and that's what they've taught us. They've taught us to look externally for all of these things that really we need to thrive is internal.
Exactly. Through deep meditation and practices like yoga, tai chi, qigong, you can discover, the reality that lies within you, because in a way, the entire universe is inside every single one of us and every living thing that's out there. It's going within that you discover this. Whenever you go without and you pull up a scripture or what have you, you're pulling up somebody else's version of reality and not your own.
Yeah, you are, definitely.
So it's time to recognize that, be your own sovereign authority in a benevolent way. And when we say in a benevolent way, it's respecting that Source is within you, but it's also within, everyone else that's out here, even those that are misguided. and are, trying to control the narrative and this reality.
Right. And when everybody really starts to understand that and stops trying to hurt everybody else or get one up on the other person, and we can start working together as one and not be afraid of each other, then I think things could turn around really fast.
So when we say, namaste and God bless at the end of every video, namaste, we're saying that the divine source that lies within me recognizes the source that lies within you. That beautiful potential that is within all of us. We recognize it in each other. It's only through delusion and not understanding the bigger picture that we become separated from this.
Right.
So on that note, I want to thank everybody for being part of the family. Make sure you are subscribed. Thanks for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon, because we couldn't do it without you. If you guys need to make an appointment with us, it's evolutionaryenergyarts@gmail.com or EEARTS@protonmail.com. So God bless and namaste.
God bless and namaste.